Let it go full Shiloh there. Alright.
Microphone muted.
I'm streaming?
Yep.
Take that as a yes.
Alright, cool. So, hello everybody. Welcome to the T-Force Podcast Bronze Bootcamp. This is game number 2. I am Ugly Tuco, and joining me is Darkner99. And pretty soon here, Horse Doctor will be back as soon as he takes care of his dog, Ajax. As we load into game 2, let me just remind you that the Bronze Bootcamp is part of the Trinity Force Network. You can check it out at trinityforcenetwork.com. There you can find the sign-up sheets for not only Bronze Bootcamp, but also Battle Arena. It's nice. Battle Arena is every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Everybody gold and lower can participate. Bronze Bootcamp, of course, is held every Saturday at noon Eastern Time. There is a sign-up list, and it's open to everybody from Silver 5 down to Bronze. Other things you should be aware about, we have 4 different podcasts, the 4 Wards, Oslaw, LCS Rundown, and The Proper. There are 5 podcasts every week, and if you want to check out, hang out with the community, come into the in-game chat room T-Force. You can join our TeamSpeak, the details of which you can find at their very own subreddit, reddit.com/r/T-Force Network. And with all that said, let's get into the game and see what we're picking here.
Microphone activated.
Alright.
Darkman, do you have any comments about the
Oh no,
Jack's
sorry.
first
I
pick?
was expecting Horse to say something, but I guess he left his mic on.
No, I'm here. It
Cool.
smells
Oh my
like
God.
barbecue. Alright, so first picking Jax, a little tricky. Jax has some really bad lanes.
Mhm.
Nara's okay.
I think if
Favorable
you could
for
jungle
Nara.
something like Jax, it's a safe pick.
I don't know if
kind of a
anybody
little
ever
tricky.
expects him to jungle though.
Yeah, that's where the brilliance comes in. It's the same with jungling Morgana. You know, you gotta pick the unexpected.
Oh.
They left Sejuani up, so this is gonna create huge windows of opportunity when her ult is up.
Yeah, Sedge is good.
Mhm.
I don't know, she's not banned or picked in many of my games anymore. I think a combination of the nerfs and people learning how to play against her. Although, like, utility AoE CC is still really good in lower
And
elo.
Yeah, purple team has AoE CC in spades right now.
Mundo.
So-
Mundo's a really good pick into AP and tanks, though.
I will say I'm a bit confused with the Alistair Bard bans, but
Yeah.
Horse, give your opinion on Echo right now.
I think he's hard to play against. I think if you're competent and you can play against him, he's strong and might need a small nerf, but I don't think he's as crazy as people say. I think after this set of small nerfs in the patch, he'll be pretty reasonable. But
Most of the skill cap is playing with Echo against him, and I really think they recognize that in the patch notes because most of it isn't a nerf. It's they're bringing more clarity to his kit and making it easier for people who may have had difficulty to play against him.
With a slutch tad of toning down.
Yep, clarity. I think clarity is Echo's issue, not the summoner spell though. But maybe somebody should try.
Yeah,
it.
you should definitely use clarity. Clarity promoted by Bronze Bootcamp, especially
Promoted
on
by
Lee Sin.
Stalker. God.
Bonesaw.
There is
Bonesaw's
a-
my second favorite name that I've seen in Battle Arena, besides Smokeopotamus.
The legend will never die. A Smokeopotamus.
I still see
There's
in
a
the
lot
chat.
of tankiness on purple team. Not a lot of damage.
Mm-hmm.
Would you suggest like a hyper carry for their AD carry then?
No, I think a lot of people really don't think about how much damage tanks can do, and it's quite a bit. Like, as long as Cho doesn't lose lane, Nara and Sejuani has so much residual damage. Like, I think you just pick your best AD carry here.
And honestly, it's all. I want to say to some extent, if Zyra gets ahead, this game is gonna. Right now, it's kind of tilted toward purple team because of the amount of like tank slash AOE that they just bring to the table. But if Zyra gets like rolling and gets like a full build, she'll be able to like wear people down really
She's
quickly.
just support. She's
Who
not
builds
getting full
support
build.
with support items? It's all about that death cap rush.
Cog is be pretty good here. I like not Cho'Gath a lot. I think Cho'Gath Q after not ult is a really good combo, and it's pretty like easy to pull off. What do you like me, Tuco?
Just you can watch. It's my match history, my last 2 games, but you can watch, check it later. But you'll be happy to see it.
I see 2 losses.
I'll be happy to see that.
Yeah.
Everyone on the stream just got to see your 2 ranked losses. My last 2 ranked games went really well.
Oh, were they only ranked games? It's not showing my driving games. That's
No.
No, it's just ranked.
Oh.
I just showed like 205 ranked
Oh
games.
no.
It can't.
No.
Okay, yeah.
I was trying to show off my driving games where I dominated and carried, but that's
Yeah,
okay.
Taco boosted. That's been
Oh my
confirmed
God.
for the longest time.
It's never been confirmed. What has been confirmed is Talon might have a hard time mid lane against the Cho'Gath.
Yeah, Talon and Cho does really well into melee matchups, especially squishy melee matchups. I'm going to mention it again, but watch your creeps. When your creeps get low, they have to walk up to them and hit them. It is the easiest way to hit skill shots, and if you've ever wondered how I abuse people in Varus so badly, I watch until you guys have to walk up and hit CS, and then I shoot my Q. It's so simple, but most people don't watch the health of both
Yeah,
creeps.
You can't underestimate the duration it takes you to get off an auto animation.
Mm-hmm. It's free. Phil can't do PJ Salt. Alright. So, general lane matchups. Sedge
I like
and
to
Jax.
protect the Kog'Maw though.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Sedge and Jax both have wonky ganks early. I guess Jax E is okay. And what Jax really wants to look for, and we didn't talk about this a lot last game, but there are a lot of things to talk about every game, so I'll mix it up. Gank assist. What lanes, when he ganks, have a lot of CC and are good potential kills. So we'll run down Jax's point of view here. Mid lane, Talon, Cho'Gath. Probably not the best lane to gank unless Talon has 6 and Ignite, because Cho is a hard to kill. Unless Cho is really pushed with low health, then Cho has no escape. So those are the things you want to be thinking about. Top lane, Mundo and Tanar. Probably not ever going to be able to gank that lane. The only reason you might want to be up there is to counter gank because you have a better 2v2 than Sejuani. Jax is a pretty good duelist. And then bot lane, Ashe Zyra, king of gank assists, probably going to want to just camp the crap out of that lane.
Yeah.
But that's gank assists, and that's one of the things. I get a lot of first bloods when I'm jungling, and I usually have a pretty impactful early game, and that's one of the things I see people struggle with in Bronze Bootcamp. And one of the biggest ways to get good gank assists and get a lot of ganks off early is think about what lanes can help you get kills, and then draw a tangent line from the first buff you start to that lane, and then just figure out the small camps. It's pretty easy. But you just want to have a plan. You don't wander. You're not barred.
I will say this. Ashe could put some early game harass on the Nautilus and kind of force him into a position where he can't be as oppressive as he wants to be in lane.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's important. Thinking about lanes and win conditions. And if you look at bot lane, we talked about Ashe a little bit. Ashe, Zyra into Nautilus Cog. Know that Ashe Zyra is really good at trading and disengaging. What does Nautilus need to do? Engage. So Zyra needs to hold at least one disengage spell to deal with the Nautilus engage, and then just focus on trading and punishing 2 scaling champions with 2 champions that are relatively well at trading. But it's important to understand that it is a reactive matchup, and you don't want to use all of your spells to harass. So, hold one. It's like Janna. Janna wants to trade, and sometimes you want to harass a lot on Janna, but you don't want to use Q a lot of the time because you need something in case they engage. Alright, so we're loading it again. Do not buy Blade of the Ring King on Gnar. No, the only two offensive items I really see on Gnar right now are Frozen Mallet and Black Cleaver.
I've actually really started getting shying away from Black Cleaver personally, but
No, every
in
Gnar
terms
I
of
see
Gnar.
builds it. It's crazy. I built it on Gnar and I went 8-1 in my last ranked game. Pretty good.
I like Frozen Mallet more personally.
It depends on the matchup. In some matchups, Mallet's junk.
But they're both good. It depends how hard you're winning too. Sometimes if you're not if the person can kill you, Mallet doesn't help a lot. But and sometimes you buy both. It's really Nara is very malleable. He has a lot of choices, and you really need to think about what you're playing against and what you can and can't kite. In this matchup, Cleaver and Mallet are both pretty good. Mallet's good because he can keep the percentage health on Mundo and make it difficult for Mundo to run from him. Cleaver's good because he can just shred Mundo's armor.
So I'm looking at some of the runes here.
Mm-hmm.
Nautilus has an interesting mashup of armor, magic pin. He has health per level, seals, but everything else is like attack, damage, armor, move. He's got a mixed mash of everything. But the one I was really interested in was Cho'Gath is running 2 attack speed quints and 4 attack speed blues.
Alright, so that sounds kind of like an 80 carry page, not a Cho'Gath page.
It kind of does.
Is
With
the
the attack
rest of
damage
it
reds,
magic pen? Or AD reds?
Yeah.
Oh, so it's an 80 carry page. Alright,
Just be to help with
he
last
might not be
AD.
able to buy runes. That is something I have to think about in BBC. Some of these players just haven't been playing as long as we have, and they may not have enough for runes.
Yeah.
I still don't have enough for runes.
Yeah, I want more.
Damn
More,
it,
I
Vito.
say. It's
You
been
call this
4
game
years.
free to play?
I'm just saying, when it takes me 12 hours to get 3,200 IP, doesn't make me happy, Rito. Doesn't make me happy.
Alright, so we're loading into game.
Yep.
Runes are too expensive.
I will agree, especially when they're some are 1/3 of a champion, if not a champion, if not double
Yeah,
a champion.
2,000 for some of the quints.
Yeah, 2,050. Yeah. Hey, look, guys, my chat was fixed.
Especially when that rune falls out of favor. And then you're like, I just dropped 6,000 gold on 3 quints. I'm not going to use anymore. Lifesteal?
Lifesteal.
Yeah. Thank you, Rito. Hopefully we'll see Gunblade on Mundo. It's a core item. No, I'm kidding. Don't put Gunblade. I think it's pretty fun though. You regen a lot of
Yeah,
health.
I personally really like Gunblade just because it's look, slow and hybrid vamp things.
Well, you heal 100% off the Q. You get 1/3 off the W, but you usually have a lot of targets on it. And then you get full healing from anything you auto attack, which is actually quite a bit with his E steroid. So Mundo, you don't want to be in utility as Mundo. Maybe for the move speed, but that's all you would get. Biscuit on Mundo is ridiculous.
Yeah, he went 21-9.
Oh, 21-9. No, on Mundo, the page I like is you can either go full defense and 3 for move speed, or a lot of people go 5 offense, 3 move speed, 22 defense, or 4, 5, 21, 4, and you get the recall thing too.
Yeah.
The talent you're looking for there is the 3% damage increase to champions damaged. Is that it helps your team do a lot more damage on Mundo. It's a good talent. Can't remember what that's called.
The one on the offensive tree.
Chat, help me out. What's the one where you hit someone and they take 3% more?
They take 3% more?
Yeah, it's in the second tier of offense. Your team does more to them.
Oh yeah, expose weakness.
Expose weakness.
Your
Expose
teammates
weakness.
do 1% damage more for the next 3 seconds.
Oh, it's
3.
1% for 3 seconds.
Yeah, it scales up to 3 stacks.
Okay.
Does it? No.
No, you're thinking of the other
It's
one.
the other one,
But
yeah.
all your teammates can
Mhm.
participate in it, which is nice.
Expose weakness is really good on Mundo.
Okay, the top lane matchup is going to be a slow farm fest up until probably level 2 or 3, and then they're going to start trying to go at it. Nara's going to really want to get off his passive proc on Hyper just to be able to do that percentage health damage.
Mm-hmm. So when you're playing against Cho'Gath, there's even more thinking that goes into like the CS games I was talking about earlier. You want to think about where you're going to take harass from his E when he last hits a creep, as well as when he walks up to last hit it. Talon's taking a lot of free damage from Cho E. And Cho in this matchup, what you'd want to look to do is usually max W on Cho mid, and then I'd like to see 2 early points in E just for trading. That's pretty standard.
I will give it to that.
Flash auto.
He made a good play, but Cho'Gath made a good play by using his knockup right as Talon used his attack animation.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
for bot lane, I would like to see Nardless pop one of his health. There it is. All right. Take about 30 seconds for him to pop that health potion. It was really low for a while.
Bot lane's gonna be a really rough matchup for them if they keep taking this amount of harass.
Yeah. They can survive and just let Cog try to farm it out.
Honestly, Sejuani should be like looking to focus bot lane. Like, yes, Zyra Ashe can be a strong lane, but it's a really immobile lane.
Mm-hmm. They are very vulnerable to ganks. I was wondering if we thought Jax should focus mid to try and get Talon some help, or if we can just consider that a lane that won't do so well.
Well, Cho'Gath didn't flash, so you're not in a good place. If Cho'Gath is really pushed and it's free, maybe. But wow, did Sedge just steal that? No.
No, but she did ward it and scare off Jax a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Little proactive warding there.
And this is good counter jungling. So when I talk about counter jungling, it's not. Sometimes it's what champion beats the other champion, but people really overthink that. The most important thing is if your lanes have priority or not. Gnar has priority on Mundo, and Cho'Gath has a ton of priority on Talon. So Sejuani is free to do stuff like that. Alright. So Talon, you just want to look to farm. Also remember you don't have combat stats because you didn't take a Doran's item or a lot of items with combat stats. When you go Flask, your win condition needs to be using Flask. By all-inning him, you're not really getting an effective use of the Flask strategy.
Also,
Wait,
go ahead, Taka.
I was gonna say, it looks like Gnar saw Jax coming up for that gank.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
You also have to remember that Cho'Gath is innately really strong against assassins or burst mages because he can build straight resistances because he gets so much help from his ultimate.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like Talon should come over and help Jax, even though it looks like Sejuani's gonna lose here. Oh, no, I think they're gonna. Whoa!
MLG. Mundo, you need to react.
Yeah, Mundo has to be paying attention.
Alright, so Sejuani helped me make a really good point. Before, that ward and the invade was good because she had priority. Now, it's really bad because if she checks the minimap, Cho'Gath was going bottom that entire time, and Gnar was a little shoved in my Mundo. So, first time, good invade, priority in your lanes. Second time, bad invade, no priority, that happens.
Also, I'd like to see more map control. Like, people, you have your trinkets up. Please lay down, like, your trinkets.
Mundo, don't. Yeah, you're leaving your W on a little longer than you need to, and sometimes you're using Cleaver on your minion, but not to execute it, and then you auto attack it to execute it. So that gets full health back now, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's I mean, it did half before, so I always did it anyway. But
I did want to commend.
fighting. He's old.
I did want to commend bot lane. Kaguma, even though he's been pushed under tower a lot, he's been keeping up with farm on Ashe, and that's great for Kaguma. That's all you really need to do for the first part of the laning phase with him is just keep up with farm and not die.
Alright. So
And
there's
to
two,
tell the truth, Zyra Ash is a pretty dominating lane, so good job by him.
so there's two Gonos. Perfect CS at 5 minutes is 38.
Yeah.
The biggest issue here isn't that Kog'Maw's keeping up, because he is keeping up. The issue is that Ashe has missed a lot of CS.
Yeah.
It's his 44 is reasonable. Ashe should have like 60-ish.
Yeah.
At 5 minutes, you should have 38. At 10 minutes, you should have 101 with perfect CS. So it's somewhere in there. She should have 60s. RPM Express, how do you get into these games? This is Bronze Bootcamp, so if you're under Silver 5, we're going to have a Game 3 after this. Join the in-game chat channel T-Force, or if you just stay in stream chat, I'll ask who wants to be invited for the next game, and if you give me your in-game name, I'll take care of you.
Mundo needs to start going back and building armor. He can't sustain just by base tanking Gnar passive.
And if you are above Silver 5, we have Battle Arena on Thursdays for Gold 1 and below. Yeah. So Jax, he went back and bought a Brutalizer. Generally in first back as a jungler, if you can buy wards, one, you want to buy a Sweeper, unless you really think you need Warding Totem. Two, it's better to upgrade Smite. And just, I don't think Warrior's correct on Jax either. I think he goes Devourer or Juggernaut. There are a lot of weird issues I have with that. So Johnny's buy is good though. I would like to see Sweeper, but
you also have to remember that your upgrade jungle item gives you 30 gold additional per camp. It's not just an aesthetic thing.
And Tuco linked in chat the link. On that, there's one of the tabs at the top for Battle Arena. If you click that, it'll have all the information you want as far as sign-up sheet, time, chat room, so on and so forth. Good gank by Sejuani. So sometimes as a jungler, you just need to impose your will on the game. And I see a lot of people jungling and they're just trying to help people and help people and help people. Recognize how gankable this mid lane is with two melee champions, Cho'Gath and Talon, albeit melee casters. If Cho'Gath is winning and Talon is gankable, make that Cho'Gath go 3-0.
So Sejuani's having a hard time finding a way to gank bot through the river. Do you think maybe next time she should try going up through lane, or should she just ignore bot lane?
I think the biggest issue I've seen in all of these Battle Arena games is junglers aren't permanently smiting Scuttle. I should see Scuttle buff on the jungler all game. And if I don't, you should have 10 ward kills.
Whoa.
No scoped.
And also, Talon needs to not disrespect Cho'Gath. You really needed a Hex Drinker. And rushing Hydra is just going to put you in a bigger disadvantage. Especially against Cho'Gath.
Oh. Blue team is so close to getting a kill.
Yeah.
They blew almost everything.
So Gnar, this bush probably could have been a good TP bush at some point. Really want to look to use effective TPs.
They just need to start the dragon. They don't need to worry about Scuttle. But yeah, good call for moving directly to dragon.
And these are one of the times where this is why you need a sweeper after your first back, because if you're going to be vying for dragon control, you need to make sure it's cleared of wards. Now they have dragon timer, and they can basically position themselves for dragon whenever it's up.
I've actually been pretty impressed with warding from both bot lanes.
In town,
so
remember?
Blue team's wards are everywhere on the map. They've done a very good job.
Yeah, they are. And we'll look at vision. This is blue. This is red. Which one would you rather have? Kappa. Alright. So Talon, remember the importance of hitting CS and not just raking the wave to rake the wave. Cho'Gath is 2-0 with 48 CS. If you had a CS is worth 15 to 16 CS to 1 kill. So if you had 70 or 68 to 70, you would have just as much as Cho'Gath with 2 kills, gold-wise. Dagger or Mana Crystal at Cog for the point he is at. I think Mana Crystal's better. Usually you want to finish the Sheen second, so it gives you more flexibility in your next buy. And Mana Crystal also gives you a health pot, whereas Dagger doesn't. And potentially 2.
There's a lot of focus going mid. Both supports are there. I don't know what what the goal is. Are they trying? It doesn't look like they want to take tower. It looks like they just want to make sure Talon doesn't die or that Cho'Gath doesn't get ganked, I guess. But now they're both heading back bottom.
Right now, they're buying for map control, but no one can really obtain it. Like I said, Talon needs to get boot or something to counteract this Cho. Like him rushing pure damage isn't gonna do anything for him.
Yeah, just as I say that red team was lacking in wards, they just lit up both sides of the river. Like, oh man.
That's good. Pineapple is actually doing pretty good on CS. I think she's getting better. Oh.
Okay, so the bot lane, in order to like pull this out, Nautilus really needs to stop playing in the defensive state. He's already level 7. He needs to be in a position where he has to decide to like go in on Zyra. And if not, he's just gonna keep getting poked down.
Yeah, he keeps dancing in and out and getting poked at every single opportunity, so he does just need to
like whenever you're playing against a squishy matchup and you're a tanky or like a tanky champion, you can't just sit back. Your job is to basically at, if not at level 2 to 3, it's at level 6 to try to make something. If not, you just fall behind because their damage is going to scale better than your natural tankiness.
And sometimes you need to think about when and why to engage. Why it would have been good for Nautilus to engage here is he saw Zyra exhaust a little bit ago in one of those fights. And exhaust is roughly 3 minutes. It's 3 minutes and 9 seconds of support mastery. So if you time that and you have summoner advantage on an engaged champion, you really want to take that bot. You can CC Ashe for so long with ultimate passive and exhaust.
Nice Sejuani ult.
And this is the tension that should have been coming down earlier from Sejuani.
Well, she did try it 2 times earlier. It's just that the blue team had the river warded up really well. Finally came down at the right time. Sometimes it takes a couple tries. Like, you're not going to get a perfect gank every time.
This goes for both Kog'Maw and Sejuani. Sej should have stayed around and helped Kog clear that pink. Like when you have that type of dominance in terms of the lane, and they know that the jungle's there, it's a really easy time to clear pinks in a position of power for the enemy.
So Jax is getting Vamp, and it looks like he's going into Blade. The reason I don't like Blade here is 1, he doesn't have an attack speed item like Devour to synergize with it. 2, Jax really just wants Trinity Force. Like, bad. He should be buying Trinity or tank. Blade is not really an option for a while. You have gold in the jungle too. To get Warrior, Blade, Trinity at any reasonable amount of time.
Like right now, Talon's too far behind to really follow up Cho'Gath's roam, so he just has to push as hard as he can.
So they're getting ready for Dragon here in a minute, and they just made Zyra pop ult to escape. Red team should definitely have an advantage here when it comes to taking Drag. That Zyra ult affects the battlefield so much. They should definitely look to fight there.
It's an amazing disengage, which means at this point, oh god. Whenever you see someone on your AD carry as Nautilus, you want to hook them in, kind of like you did there, but a lot sooner. That engage and disengage went well, but it could have been way rougher.
So it looks like both these teams are valuing Dragon pretty well. That seems to be the goal. I don't know if teleport is up for yeah, teleport is up for Mundo, but not for pineapples. So blue could make a play here. Oh man.
One of the reasons you pick Gnar is for TP Mega Gnar. It's almost an aggressive statement, but if you play Gnar, you really need to be getting more Mega Gnar TPs. By 17
Blue team,
minutes, I haven't
they
seen
can
one.
make a play here if they can get a ward over in it for Mundo. They need somewhere for Mundo to get into that fight, or he can not go in. Oh, here he comes.
Oh, and Ashes should be dead.
What was that?
Yep.
The Mundo could have TP'd a little earlier.
Yeah,
Not to
I don't
an
know if that
optimal
would've-
ward, but
Yeah, I don't know if that would completely change the fight, but
I don't think it would have.
yeah,
It could have helped, though. It may have.
that may have helped. Togath is just such a beast, and he did a good thing there of not helping take down Dragon, but zoning out Ashe and Zyra.
I really need to be seeing like earlier sweepers on both Nautilus and Zyra. Like at this point, you should understand that because of the Dragon Pit, board control around that area is going to be huge. And this also goes for Jax and Sejuani.
That's good by Tom. It was good to
Yeah.
get him back in the game. What I'd like to
Yes.
see him do with this goal is he really needs to buy Mercury Treads. Hex Drinker's good, but it doesn't give you effective health, and it's like a secondary most important item besides Mercs. Mercs are like the counter to Cho'Gath because they help with his magic damage and they make it really hard for Cho'Gath to hit Q on you.
Also, screws the silence up.
Yes, it does. Mercs are rough on Cho. Cho's so big. Such a cool champion.
Jax needs to be like paying some attention to top lane, clear that, and then rotate somewhere else.
So Jax maxed Q first. On Jax, you maxed W, jungle, and top lane.
And you use it to reset your auto animation.
Mm-hmm.
That's where his amazing trade potential in lane also comes in.
Oh, Talon.
There you
A
go.
little
I just
dangerous
saw
move
him do
by
it.
Talon here. Oh well. There's just too much CC in that team for you to just dive in like that.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta really sit on the outskirts and wait for your opportunity and be patient.
So Jax is doing something useful. Sejuani really wants to group with their team and trade mid tower. It's a little late to react bottom. But get mid. That's just recalling.
And yeah, blue team needs to like decide what they're really gonna want to do.
They scale pretty hard. So they can always
Yeah.
fall back. Oh, Talon bought Mobies! No!
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 It's too late in the game for Mobies.
Yeah, he's trying to find picks / roams, but
He's
the
following
team
a
fighting
guy.
phase is coming into the.
Yeah.
So Jax, you really want to group with your team more. You're doing pretty well. You're 2 levels ahead of Sejuani and you have quite a bit of farm. Not doing anything with it. You just farmed top, killed wolves, and idling
Talon,
jungle again.
if you're gonna use your ult is for engage or disengage. You don't use it to kind of disappear for a little bit and then try to assassinate.
Mundo, you can turn
the
off
middle
your
3
W
tanks.
when you're not fighting. Oh, he's going back in. All right. Yeah, Mundo is. You can see how great he is against this kind of team comp.
Mundo is so good against like AP AoE.
Yep.
Xmithy. Kappa. No hate. It's Bronze Bootcamp. We're here to get better.
Yeah.
Xmithy's getting paid, that's why we can hate on him.
If they keep letting Jax like go off and get all this free farm,
He has to do something with it.
yeah,
He needs to hit the
But
CS too.
but it's really gonna help him in terms of like because of the amount of gold in the jungle relative to the amount that comes in lane.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like blue team reacted quickly enough to maybe take mid tower here. I like that. Yeah. Nice response.
Blue team's coming
Now-
back into this just because.
Dragon, they should also start noting that Dragon's up in a minute and a half. And both teams have been prioritizing it a lot. I feel like red team has the advantage just because their team fight capability is really strong compared to team. I wonder if Jax is gonna keep pressuring top lane and just give up this dragon.
He needs to hit the CS.
Yeah,
That's
that
one of
would
my biggest pet peeves when I see people split pushing and I hit tab and their farms only increase by like 30 in 5 minutes. It's like, like if you're gonna AFK and screw us over, at least get fed.
Ash, when you're trying to like get CS, you really need to be stutter stepping. You take a lot of free harass from Cho'Gath.
Mm-hmm.
Talon is being super aggressive.
Yeah, Talon, you really need to start respecting the enemy team. They're tanky. You're not gonna blow them up.
He sold his movies.
Patient. He has to let either Mundo or let a signal like Ash Cyber ult indicate when he should go in on a specific target.
Yeah, at this point, like Talon, your main job is burst. You're not gonna 100-0 anyone in their team, including their AD carry at this point. You're too behind.
So we're gonna make a point on talent, and this is sometimes you might get into a game and you might see that an item you bought is incorrect or realize you made a mistake. Half of the next item is still better than the incorrect item you bought, so you usually shouldn't resell until like 4 or 5 or 6 items. I would have just stuck with the movies.
Nice, Gnarl.
Yeah.
Oh, almost got the stun off. And it doesn't look like red team will be able to take Dragon safely.
No, it doesn't. And blue team's not behind a ton of gold.
They aren't.
And Ash is still doing okay. And Jax and Mundo are scaling, so.
I personally think that they should have kind of risked taking Dragon at that point.
Mhm.
The only people that were up were an Ashe that was at 25% health and a Talon that's really far behind.
Even as far behind as Talon is, he still could have. They were really low. He could have gotten 2 kills.
And we're gonna have, this is something I'd like to point out. If you're gonna play carry jungle and tax your team, you really need to carry. Oh, Talon.
Nautilus, you really need to not be afraid. You're an oppressive jungler oppressive support that's supposed to be in the front lines. You can't be afraid of doing anything to that Talon.
Mm-hmm. Oh. So, Talent just died, and you already gave up Dragon. Cut your losses. You shouldn't be taking this fight. As Ashe, I wouldn't waste Flash when you're already dead as well. But the carry jungler point I was trying to make earlier, if you're gonna tax your team really hard, like on Rengar or Jax or Nocturne or something, you need to be confident that not every game, because sometimes things happen, that you're gonna be able to carry most of the time. Because Mundo mid game, when we're watching these team fights, was doing really well in keeping you guys in this game, and he was doing pretty well against Gnar too. Now when I look at CS, Mundo's down 60 because of how much Jax has been top, and Jax hasn't done anything with it. Like, taxing on a carry jungle and not doing anything with it is like the easiest way. When I told Pwn how to lose games at low elo, taxing and not doing anything with it was like the number one thing I told him. It's pretty bad. You're a leech. You're sucking blood from the system or the organ that is your team.
Oregon. I'm confused what Zyra's doing. Either needs to go back and put herself in a position to start warding again, or...
The trick 2G mentality.
Okay, so we got four members of blue team in the top lane here. And Ash bot.
Yeah, they need to figure out what they're doing, and because of this, they might actually end up
Red
losing
team
mid.
is responding pretty nicely here.
Mm-hmm. I'd like to see Nair and Sedge respond as well, though.
Yeah.
When you have a really tanky team,
What are they?
Yeah,
What is blue team doing top?
Talon, Jax, and
just die.
Mundo, you guys really need to figure out what you're gonna do. Go do it or just back off because you're just wasting time, gold, and experience.
Wow, Jax is actually.
Talon, try and maximize your damage in team fights. I saw what you're doing there. Don't hold ult to kill steal people. Like, get in a combo and get in the next combo. You may have been able to kill Nair. That's really, like, I don't know. I'm gonna call it a dick move. And know that they're reacting. Like, red team's coming up. You want to kill them as soon as possible so they have less time and you can get out safely. Like, sitting an ult until he's at 10% to execute him and steal it from your teammate. Like, don't do it. That's so greedy.
Also, Jax, you want a pink or wards out. You can't like at this point. The biggest thing that the biggest thing that red team can do to seal deal is just catch people off guard in the jungle.
Mm-hmm.
Hello.
So as blue team, if you want to come back, you really need your jungler to have a sweeper because actually wards have dropped from both teams. So general note, both teams need to step up with wards again. Although
Blue team looks like they're both prioritizing upper jungle and Baron area, which is good. They're making sure it isn't taken by the other team secretly.
but you still have like a decent pick comp with Zyra, Ashe, Talon. You can play
definitely.
that.
Like if Kog'Maw gets caught out, he's done a good job of just staying back and doing damage.
And if you want a visual example of that, watch the next Rocket game. I'm sure Woolite will show you.
He's got to get the epic double kills, man.
Yeah, he's gotta get the epic passive damage.
Didn't he like lead the league in multi kills or something like that? But it was at the cost of dying all the time.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
Talon at this point, like finishing your Hydra isn't really gonna provide you with much.
No, when you're losing or you're winning hard, like, get armor pin.
I wanted probably I don't know, Last Whisper, if not a Black Cleaver for the CDR.
Mundo's coming back on items, though. I would have liked to see Mercs at him. His W does a lot. I still would have liked to see it. It's multiplicative and he wouldn't have got a lot out of it. With the defensive mastery, W and Mercs, Mundo can hit like 70 to 75% tenacity. And that'd be really effective against the red team. And Ashe, don't go BT. I mean, IE BT.
Especially with that team. Yeah, you're gonna need Last Whisper.
Last Whisper and attack speed.
Yep.
If you don't dash in 1v4 on Lucian, you do not have a chance to make LCS big plays.
Hitting like a truck doesn't matter if you die within like the second shot.
Do you recommend Blade of the Ruined King at all for Ashe or
No.
nah?
Crit.
I always try to think when it's proper for an AD carry to get that item.
Maybe late game once like she had all her other items, but as like a second or third item, no.
Ashe's W has a 1-to-1 AD ratio, and she scales with crit really hard. The extra AD on BT can crit, and the lifesteal can crit and give you more lifesteal.
Yeah.
Blade of the Ruined King can't crit. I don't think you ever buy Blade over BT on Ashe. I mean, you might get both if you want double lifesteal.
Yeah, I would say that mostly because of the amount of tanks.
But you don't get like the Blade until 5th or 6th if you go double lifesteal.
Yeah.
BT is nice against tanks too because they can't one-shot you. And if you position well, you can just stay like full health and keep auto-attacking in fights.
Sejuani has ult. They could dive here if they wanted to.
And Zyra, this goes to show that when you go like an offensive champion like Zyra, you put yourself in awkward positions if you're expecting to go damage, but you're forced to go into utility because your team's losing.
X-Smithing.
There's a lot of AoE. I feel like an Aegis would actually be a good item for Zyra.
No, it is, but it just shows like the awkward positions you're put in.
Yeah.
Jax, like, you've been farming for the last, like, 5 minutes. I just watched you take blue and golem, and then you went top. And you're building Last Whisper. Like, please.
Red is
Andrew
letting
Lowell.
themselves be dictated to here. I feel like they're reacting instead of being the
And
ones.
blue team needs to
dictating
keep
what
pushing bot lane in order to keep pressure down there, while Jax is up top lane doing Jax things.
Mm-hmm. Dive.
Oh,
You've
that
tanked.
Nautilus.
Alright, so now they got that objective. Blue team needs to be really careful here. Red team's coming back with full health and just bought new items. Yeah, good, they're backing off.
Sejuani, I don't know why you buy Spirit Visage here. Ashe and Mundo are mixed, and Zyra does magic damage, but they're mostly physical. And you not having armor is making it difficult to dive towers as well. I don't know.
Frozen Heart would be a great item.
Yeah, I like Heart. I like Randuin's. They're both good.
Yeah.
Probably
Heart
Heart.
and Randuin's.
Sedge likes the CDR, especially mid game for more ults.
Mm-hmm.
CDR is nice if you really think about it, because if you compare Heart to Randuin's, you don't think about the CDR in this way, but Heart's actually a better offensive item too, because you get 20% more spells. So, it's good. CDR is an offensive and a defensive stat.
Looks like Red's finally taking the initiative here. They're gonna start pressuring the objectives on their terms.
Which kind of goes to show like the idea behind moment, like reactive versus proactive play.
Well, yeah, you can just see it in the wards. Blue has 1, 2, 3, almost 4 wards in the red jungle, in the red side area, whereas Red, they're kind of all their wards are on their side. They're playing defensively, even though they do technically. Red has a gold lead, so.
And ward isn't to save you. A lot of people say, "Oh, use wards in lane, be safe, so on and so forth."
Ward is to find people, or
they're good for that, but they're a map pack. They're literally just a map pack. Anywhere you want to see on the map, put a ward. If you don't believe me, go play Dota, and the wards in Legal seem really nice. Whoa.
Oh.
Whoa.
Like at that point, Zyra, like if you, as soon as you clear a ward, expect that their team's coming in to place another one.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you have your mid turret down.
They gotta go for it.
They can melt it. They have so much percentage health damage.
I don't think blue team's gonna be able to respond in time. Huh?
They can if they scare off red and delay it, but
They need to go in now, though.
yeah, they need to be decisive. You can't be indecisive in situations that dictate that you need to go all in or not.
Whoa. Focus the cog. There you go. There you go.
Being hesitant is how you end up with 1-4 trades.
So Cog made a pretty big mistake here that I'll point out. I see a lot of Cogs do it. If you're sieging or taking an objective on Cog and you think a fight is going to break out, don't waste W. He wasted W to try and kill Baron, and it wasn't up towards the end of the fight when he needed it. Cho'Gath, I'd like to see more assists to your build. I understand you're winning really hard, but Cho'Gath still really likes Abyssal and Hourglass.
Yeah, I want to talk about the decision for Baron there. Yeah, you got to pick off of Zyra. You still had the risk of a steal from their jungler, and Zyra's like the least important part of the enemy team. It's the support. So.
Am I about to see full build, no Trinity Force Jax?
Maybe.
So, you don't ever buy Last Whisper on Jax. Unless maybe they have like 10 armor items and you're at 6 items. But, like half of his damage is magic. You're not even getting his ultimate and his W are magic. You're not even getting full use of it. It's a very awkward buy.
Oh, red team still somebody alive
blue
with
team
Baron
needs
buff.
blue
Nice.
team needs to just rotate properly. Zyra, there's no reason for you to be walking all the way back to base.
Stop farming, dude. You have 2 levels in Sejuani all game, but Sejuani's gonna win the game because she's using her levels and skills.
Split pushing doesn't win the game. Teamwork does. Except in
Sometimes
some
it
games.
does.
Yeah, sometimes it does. But for the most part, split pushing just kind of makes the grave even deeper.
You need to, 1, hit all your CS. 2, recognize why you're doing it and split push at opportune times. You're just kind of ignoring the game around you and split pushing, which is like the worst way to do it.
Yeah, and they're gonna be able to get back in time. Like he's not gonna be able to take an inhib turret.
So Mundo, if you don't buy Sunfire first, you don't usually buy Sunfire in Mundo. The only exception is if you need more armor items, like 5th or 6th, but randomins would have been much better here. When Mundo hits 16, blue team has a decent power spike. I don't know. They honestly need to like just keep scaling and hope the other team throws. Keep smiting raptors, get wards out of your jungle. Keep buying red totems. I'm gonna say that like a lot, but it's really, really important when you're jungling. I haven't seen anybody in BA or BBC do it. You need to be smiting like the crap out of raptors.
And Zyra can't be the only one warding. And I put emphasis on this, like, no matter what role you are, you should have at least a few wards down.
So I was thinking what red team should do next, and if they should group as 5 to push down top or bottom, or if they should split off one of the, like maybe Gnar to split push bot lane or something, but I feel like they really need to stay together for their team comp to be that effective.
So they have 5th Dragon. I would get Vision around 5th Dragon and play an adjacent lane. I think that's the best call. If you get Vision on 5th Drag and then you push an adjacent lane, if you push that lane for 3 minutes, there's no way they have Dragon warded anymore. And then it's free, and the only way they can test is face checking.
So Kog'Maw right now is kind of doing his own split push deal.
I was IE versus PD for Cog. I would have liked to see PD here, but IE is okay.
An early ignite on Mundo. Whoa.
Oh.
Yeah, red team, you don't have the damage anymore.
No. You really need to, you're a kindergarten teacher, do a head count. Kog'Maw's bot. This is a ridiculous play. Jax, you do no damage, but you have so many offensive items. Buy Trinity Force, man. I think Kog'Maw's... chat, Andrew, I think Kog'Maw's build should have been Trinity Force, Blade, PD, IE. I think that's pretty general. Alan, even though
now Kog'Maw needs to back off. He can't be pushing by himself when he has no idea where the enemy team is.
So Talon's coming back. If he gets Last Whisper and then either defensive item or IE, he's in a pretty good spot.
Yeah.
So one of the issues, you can't buy more than 6 items, so if you don't know how to end a game, this starts to happen. Rough.
Yeah.
Sedge bought guys. Leandry's and Sedge is pretty meh. You just want to get full tank. Thornmail will probably do more damage than Leandry's anyway.
Thornmail or Frozen Heart. Blue team is a little reliant on auto attacking with Jax and Ashe, but yeah.
Thornmail is so good. Ashe, Talon, and Jax. It's Heart too. They don't have a heart. That's crazy. I think she should have both.
So it looks like red team's plan here is just to wait out for Baron, take it, and then use that buff to end the game.
Dragons. Oh, they have Dragon or Baron, whatever they want. They could honestly just Baron into 5 dragons into game.
Yeah.
Honestly, I would have liked to
Jackson
see.
Kalanitas, they're wasting so much time just wandering around waiting to see what red team does.
I would have either liked to see a Talisman of Ascension or a Righteous Glory
Out of
on
not.
someone.
Yeah, not should have glory. 100%.
Like they really need someone that can like properly close the gap and
Mhm.
engage. And blue team's made it really clear that they're good at disengaging.
Maybe Glory and Nar Sedge, though. I think Not still wants to peel for Cog, even though they're this far ahead. He's kind of the best peel left.
Ugh, Cog does ridiculous damage.
Mm-hmm.
Nice flash.
This is why you want real armor items on Mundo. Mundo's an amplifying tomb. What the hell? If he had Randuin's or Thornmail, yeah, the Kog'Maw damage would have looked a lot different there. But
Turn on your W, Mundo, to help reduce that duration of CC.
mm-hmm.
Oh man. Turn it on, buddy. Turn it on.
You're
Too
behind
late.
us, Tuca.
Zyra, you do not want to be walking in front of enemies ever as Zyra.
Yeah.
You play Zyra like you play Lux. If you're ever within auto attack range of the enemy late game, you're probably dead.
Yeah, that's why you don't build Lichbane Lux, boys and girls. Please stop.
No,
Viger.
Lichbane Ziggs, it's pretty funny.
Lichbane Viger too. It's
Hey, Lichbane Ziggs when you hit a turret and you chunk it for like half, that's hilarious.
We were actually telling someone not to do that last game.
Alright.
But
So they could yeah, it looks like they could rotate for 5th dragon.
yeah, this is pretty free. Just Pineapples is TP, have Pineapples go butter top, and then everybody else should rotate
Mm-hmm.
mid to something else. Get the supers going. And you can close it as fast or slowly as you want here.
Yep, they have about a 3-4 minute window to make the game here.
Mm-hmm. Mikhail's would be okay out of maybe no. I would have liked Glory.
I really just honestly would have liked Talisman.
Mm-hmm. I think Glory does the same thing as Talisman if you're winning.
Yeah, but Talisman has
Looks like they're gonna
32
just go ahead
second
and try to
cooldown.
force the issue here on Nexus turrets. A little bit risky.
Yeah, I think they should close the game more methodically. I think this is kind of risky.
Yeah, you can't rush headfirst into these things. That's how you end up losing gauges.
You know,
There you
Ash
go,
didn't
Ash.
do well. She's still
There
in
you go,
AD carry.
Ash.
Hey, Jax.
They're not on the same page and they're falling apart.
Yeah.
Whoa, my bad.
That was a risky play to end the game. They probably didn't think it was because they had both buffs, but they could have easily taken a side turret and inhib there if they wanted to, especially bot.
Whoa.
Oh no.
R.I.P. Pepperino.
Looks like Nar might go
Trying to
Black
force
Cleaver
down
here.
objectives under double Nexus turret with having no type of like solid engage. While the enemy team spread out and you're all at about half health. Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
reasons why that's bad is one, you took inhibitor, but you never gave Baroned up minions time to push into base and use the Baron buff as effectively as you could. Two, you took inhibitor by not giving it time to push or not rotating a bot or top, not getting any use of your Baron buff, and you're just trying to shove Dragon buff into the 2 towers there. Use Baron buff, use the super minions. The game is a game of minions and towers. Like, you kill a Nexus to win. I don't know. I guess they were going for the Nexus, but use the
Yeah, but you
creeps.
can't smash your face into it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Well-
it's like a bottle of multivitamins with the child safe lock on it. You guys aren't effectively using the child safe lock. You have to push it down and turn it. You can't just pull it off. Kappa.
Nautilus, I'm assuming you're going a Thornmail. And at this point, I would like to say that you'd probably want to either finish your Targons or get a Talisman of Ascension. This is about the time you really want to finish your support item. Just for the additional utility.
Red team really like macro movement with minion waves, warding, and not having a second sweeper is like the three biggest reasons this game is
And now they don't have their main initiator with them either.
48 minutes instead of 28 minutes, because this should have been a 25-minute game.
They keep delaying, and Mundo and Ash are gonna keep getting stronger and stronger, even though they do have Kog'Maw. Like, Talon can also be insanely dangerous late game if he gets enough items here.
Yeah, Ash skills too.
Not to mention Jax.
This is a good fight. They're recognizing that Sejuani's bot and taking this.
Mm-hmm.
Kudos.
Oh, and Jax has a GA.
Talon should be saving his cooldowns for when Kog'Maw enters the fight, though. I don't really agree with trying to one-shot tanks like that. But that's pretty well played. Jax.
They probably need a backup to protect bot inhibitor here, though.
Yeah, but Sejuani can't take the turret like super crazy fast.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where they need to be delaying these.
Oh, Ash, what's going
recalls.
on?
Oh.
What's going on? What the heck happened there?
That happens when you don't pay attention.
Mundo's going for the Leandries. As much as I love Leandries Mundo, if it's a close game and you need to be tanky, it's something you get when you're stomping really hard and you need to siege, because you can 15% people off towers.
Oh man.
Whoa, Sejuani.
Our cutting is close there. She should have procced her passive, but
Leandries Mundo time, boys.
hey, to be fair, it burns.
Yeah.
He's going for the burn build.
You gotta get Thornmail if you're gonna go the burn build on Mundo.
Hey, still has an item slot open.
Alright, so we're gonna talk about why Kog'Maw didn't die here. It looks like Zyra, she may or may not, but we'll talk about it. Leandris is percentage total health. Or it's percentage current health. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
So the burn itself will never kill somebody.
Yeah, you can never die to Leandris passive.
Even if
used
you're
to
at
be
1
able
HP,
to.
it will take away
But that was too
0.3
strong.
HP.
So Cho sold for Thornmail. He should have Hourglass here. I don't think Thornmail is a very effective buy.
It'll give him enough time to get a second set of cooldowns to...
He also doesn't have Void Staff. There are a lot of issues with this build.
I just in general hate pure damage Cho'Gath.
I think if you play mid Cho, there's a place for it. I think his build's fine here, besides the Thornmail. I don't like the order in which he bought his items, but...
I would rather
Dragon
honestly
number
see
2.
a Zonia's rather than a Luden's. Just so that he has that ability to get like that extra rotation of spells off in case of emergencies.
They might as well go ahead and go for Baron.
Sejuani, group up.
Oh, the dragon.
You're not a split pusher.
Yeah.
That's fun. Looks like the game is about to end.
Yeah?
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Microphone muted. Microphone activated.
I'm sorry for that, everybody. I live on a dirt road.
I live in a kindergarten classroom, so.
Okay. So
it
Cho's gonna
looks
go
like
back. Cho
Red
should
Team's
go
gonna
top
come in.
after he backs. The rest of the team should probably push mid, I feel like, but
Mhm.
oh well.
They can do they can do a 1-3-1.
They don't need a they don't really need to worry about bot lane, I don't
Like
feel like.
Cho and Nar are ahead enough where they can hold their own.
Yeah, Nar can easily hold his own. Yeah, and Cho has shown he can handle Talon.
And I'm sure that Sedge and Nautilus can peel for the Kog'Maw in case like 3v3s fight happen.
Yeah. Oh, Talon,
Cho-
buddy.
Alright, so game 1, I talked about attack move cursor. That's why you want to use attack move cursor. That's
You want,
pretty rough.
you want to attack the inhibitor, Tsunamic.
Spoiler. Yeah, try and keep chat spoiler free. We've had to send Stalker to prison for a few times for that.
Nice ult onto Ash.
Stalker prison, Kappa. This is one of the issues with Mundo's build. He doesn't have a lot of effective tankiness through Sunfire
Yeah.
and Rangers.
Rain Doings would be very helpful right now.
So both teams, I really should be seeing elixirs from Red Team, especially when this Baron came up, when the previous Baron came up.
Mm-hmm.
And Blue Team, you know it's Colonel Mustard's last stand by elixirs as well.
History
Alright.
references.
That's game.
History references.
A very, very slow snowball-y game.
Kudos for Blue Team for staying in it as long as they
Yeah.
did.
They recognized a couple mispositions by Red Team and took advantage of it, especially when they saw Sejuani bot and the rest of the team was top. They recognized that and reacted accordingly, which was nice.
Let's view advanced details. Alright, and someone wants to start lobby for the next game.
Want to do a taco or should I?
Yeah, I can get it going.
Noses. Alright,
God,
You guys
that
can talk
game
about
was
the
so
game.
slow.
so we're gonna go over some.
We're
One
gonna-
pink from Jax, one from Mundo, one from Ash, one from Talon. Zyra did pretty good as supports. 58 and 6 is a good scoreline, but I really should have seen a lot more pinks from Blue Team. And your lack of pinks and ward kills, especially out of Truck. That's so bad.
I will applaud Sejuani for the amount of wards she put down.
I think
He
it's
was-
because she bought Warding Totem. Oh, she bought 8 stealth wards. No, she did pretty good. So the amount of pinks is bad, and ward kills is really bad. That's pretty rough. So remember to smite Raptors. Remember to buy pinks to get those ward kills, and both junglers should have sweeping totem. And if anybody wants into game 3, say something in Twitch chat for those listening and not watching chat, or hop into in-game chat channel T-Force and say, I'd like to play in game 3. Please give me an invite. Silver 5 and below. And we'll pull that up again.
And yes, Raging Pineapples, I'll give you kudos. Your CS was actually decent.
Yeah, it's much better. So 2 things for each person to improve on. Jax, I think we talked about it a lot. Build order and split pushing and last hitting. Those are the 3 big things. Zyra, understand when to use your spells to peel and when to use them to harass and lane. I saw you get burned by that a few times. And also in team fight, just think about getting 2 plants down and an ult down and where and when you'll need to get it. Your vision control is pretty good though. I'll give you props for that. IGN Peter, that's Vom. Tuco.
Huh?
Peter Jacket is Vom.
Oh, well, no.
Mundo, if you don't buy Sunfire first, you don't want to buy Sunfire and Mundo, generally.
Or
Also-
in general.
Yeah, in general. Sometimes you can get 5th or 6th if you just want like a 4th armor item for God knows what reason. But, I don't know, you were kind of put between a rock and a hard place with Jax stealing all your farm, so I'm sorry about that. But you could have gotten some better TPs with home guards, possibly. In laning, remember, I saw you a lot of times use Cleaver and not finish a creep and then auto attack to finish it. Try and make sure you're doing that. And learn to freeze in front of your tower. I saw you try and do it, but you froze a wave that was way too big. If you want some basics on that, check in a couple of hours and my CS guide will be on the Reddit. I would say 4 or 5 p.m. Talon. Oh, Ash. Build. Just standard marksman build. You don't want to go IE into BT. Hawk shot usage around injectives. Your team face checked a lot more than they need to. And don't be afraid to give Zyra a hawk shot to spot her when she's warding so she doesn't have to check as hard. It's pretty helpful. Or
What
when
I've
you're going
seen,
to ward.
what I've seen good Ash players do is instead of shooting them at like a decent location, they'll shoot it across the map to get as much vision coverage as they can with it.
Mm-hmm.
It creates a path that's really safe if you're gonna either ward or you're gonna try to pass through that area.
Talon, buy Mercs against Cho. Respect the all-in of Cho early. Talon's good at cheesing people in lane, but his 1v1 from full health isn't that crazy. Also, when you go Flask, don't all-in people until you've traded them down. That's not what you buy Flask for. Longsword 3-pot's more of the all-in build, if that's something you're actually interested in, but upgrade your trinket too. Pineapples, CS is good. Really pay attention to TP. I didn't see any home guard TP ults, and there are a lot of times where Mondo could have ulted and you could have got burned a lot harder, but you kind of got away with it from his TP, poor TP usage as well. But that's why you pick Gnar. You pick Gnar for TP ults. TP Mega Gnar. Sedge, build order, you need to get armor earlier. You got burned for that a couple of times. Also, haunting guys on Sedge is kind of a wash. Frozen Heart's good, so look at that. Upgrade regular ward too. Upgrading for the pink totem is okay, but you guys really struggled without the pink ward late game. No commentary. I'm talking Sanguine. We're going down each person. If we missed you, tell me who you were, and I'll talk about you. So just tell me who you were, and if we already skipped over it, I'll touch upon it briefly again after I finish Nautilus and Kog'Maw. Nautilus, build, don't be afraid to get Glory, or the, what's it called now, Locket and Shirelias. The
This
new
goes-
Shirelias.
Wait. This goes for Nautilus in general. If you're gonna play someone like Nautilus or Leona, you need to be the engager. You can't sit back and let yourself get poked down, especially in the laning phase. You need to recognize when someone's out of position, and you have to punish them for it.
Especially when you have summoner advantage. If you have summoner advantage on Leon or not, you need to destroy them. Exhaust is the big one. You missed Cho. Oh, Cho. Alright, Cho'Gath. Build order was a little rough. I don't like the Thornmail late. I would have liked to see. I agree, kind of, with the Luden second because it's a really good item for pressuring your lead. But you didn't use it effectively to pressure your lead, and you don't have Hourglass or Zonias. Your build is just really really weird to me. The death cap was earlier than I would have liked. I think maybe Roa. Glass Abyssal, Roa, Luden's Glass Abyssal. You don't have to rush cap. Cho's still bruisery. And he has so much health from his ultimate, the resistances give him a lot of effective health. So Abyssal and Hourglass are really good buys on Cho. I'm sorry you're league bugged, Tsunomic.
I was doing it, not anyone else. No one else noticed me.
And Captain Boot on Cho's is kind of, yeah. But it's not the worst. And work on mid-game farm. I think 264 is kind of rough for a mid laner in a 53-minute game. The same goes for Talon. Early game farm, actually. At 10 minutes, you and Talon had crap CS. So work on CS. Cog. I think the build is generally good. I think he could have chugged elixirs a little earlier.
Whenever you guys are planning to make a power play or a battle over objectives, you really should be popping elixirs. They're a power spike, even though they can be minor. It's still something.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when it comes to taking turrets with what's the blue elixir? All I know is that what is it, 25 true damage per hit? It can be really substantial.
Mm-hmm. Sanguine Lust. I didn't hear anything. My client was bugged all game. I just noticed. I'm sorry, dude.
How's your position in that game, Sue? It's really hard to tell. Your team was winning hard enough that it was difficult for me. But we're gonna hop into next game. If you want an invite, say something in chat. Silver 5 or below. If you're higher than Silver 5 and you want to play, check out Battle Arena on Thursdays. Here, I'll show you how to get to it. TrinityForceNetwork.com. Battle Arena. This is all you need to. Oh, I'm talking in here, not in the wall. I'm sorry, dude. So many big tanks, nobody could hear little Kog'Maw. How many people do we have? That's pretty good. Alright, so stream is going to go down for a little bit. We'll be back in probably a minute or two since lobby's pretty close to full again.
Andrew, Red Elixir is more like, I don't know. What would you equate Red Elixir? It's more like Spell Vamp, right? It's like Spell Vamp and normal lifesteal.
Depends on the champ. Like, if your champ does physical damage on spells, it's crazy. I love it.
Yeah, like on Zed.
Varus, holy crap. Alright, so stream, when it does go down, you feel free to stick around and chat, and we'll answer questions in chat if you guys have any about this game or just League questions in general. But stick around, we'll see you in a